of this incredible moment when Moshe Rabbeinu was praying after the sin of the golden calf, and he's saying, Mamash, you have to, Mamash, forgive them. You can't destroy them. And Hashem says, I'll make a whole people out of you. Come on, let's do it. What do we need them for? Moshe says, no. I can't. You can't do that. They're so good. So he asks to be able to see Hashem's glory. And Hashem says, you can't see it while you're alive. But I will pass by you while you're in the crevice of the rock, and you'll see my back, but my face you shall not see. So there's a whole thing there in chapter 34, 35, 36 of Exodus. But at one point Hashem then teaches Moshe to enact and to say the 13 attributes of mercy. And it's not clear exactly, in my understanding, I wrote a few places about this, is that the enumeration or the recital of the 13 midot of rachamim that we say when we daven on, when we say tachanun, is really, the depth of it is missed by most people. It's an amazing revelation. What happened is that Hashem appeared to Moshe's mind. And according to the way to look at it, is he uses Moshe's mind to create an apparition in front of Moshe. There's no image in heaven. There's no body. He uses Moshe's mind to create an apparition in front of him, and if we were there, we'd see two men who looked exactly the same. Two beautiful, white-bearded, elderly gentlemen. And one of them is calling out and saying, Hashem! That's God's name. Say after me. And Moshe says, Hashem! Another time, Hashem! El, Rahum, the Hanun. And he's over and over again saying, and he's saying and responding. And they come together. He says, now say it with me. Hashem! Hashem! Kel! Rahum! And as they do, the animation shows them both coming together and becoming one. Hashem speaking through Moshe. Moshe being a vessel for Hashem. It's not two, it's one. And when we say it, isn't it Hashem speaking through us anyway, also on a deep level? Can we speak? Can we exist? So I'm writing about this in my books. This is like there. It's right there in the blue book. It seems risque, but I bring sources for it. That's where prayer should take us, to the level where we really understand that it's not us. We interface with Hashem. We give up the idea that we're separate egos. We move into right brain, just even for a split second. And at the same time, we're in left brain because we're speaking, we're existing. What an amazing thing that prayer was meant to be and supposed to be for all of us. And you just have to slow it down a little bit. When you say, El, Rachum, B'Hanun, Erech, Apayim, you think Hashem is so merciful. Again, that might not be my present emotional experience of God. I might be having trouble in my life. So the real work here is not to say something that's totally disconnected from my emotional being. It's to work my way up so that what I'm saying, I really am saying it, and it becomes a healing for my emotional being. And I really know that it's true. I just have to break through that the El Rachum V'Hanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed L'Alafim, Noseh Avon V'Fesha V'Hata V'Nakeh, that they become more than words. Again, you can't do it every time, but at least know that it's one of the most powerful things we have. They say that Ben Ish Chai writes that he says, I tried to convince my congregation in Baghdad to say it slower, but when I saw that they just couldn't, as long as I started with them, I let them go, and I stayed behind. El, Rahum, V'Hanun. Allow the words to sink in. Allow yourself to think about it. In my translation, in my Siddur, I bring a little bit of like, what does it mean? I didn't bring it tonight.
Tomorrow night you bring it.
Okay. Anyway.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah. I'm sorry to take up some of the space tonight. They're inspiring me.
The people who didn't see Moses for 40 days and 40 nights, they asked to see God also. Because they didn't see Moses, they wanted to see God. And also we see the non-Jewish world wants to see an image of God. and they have images of God. But when Moses asked to see God, so like, what's the difference between Moses asking and the people who wanted to see God before they go to the camp, or the non-Jews who want to see what God is all about?
I'm lucky, man, tonight. There's a Zohar here. It's Appendix B, the image of God, from the Zohar.
That's homework for me.
It's in this book.
Which one is that?
Reawakening Spiritual Awareness, Volume 2. So, what can I say? I'm not going to do it, but it's like...
I'll read it home.
It's amazing. You saw no image. It says in the Torah, it's written that you, Israel, did not see any image.
So what does it say? What does Moses saw a guy, old guy.
Right.
It's like Santa Claus.
Totally. Before his passing, Moshe warns the Israelites to never forget the day that they were together, lifted up to the highest level of collective prophecy ever experienced, when they heard Hashem speak the 10 declarations at Sinai, corresponding to the 10 Sfirot. The entire passage reads, "Be extremely careful for your souls, and remember, you did not see any image on the day." As we're about to see, the Zohar is dealing here with the fact that prophecy usually does involve seeing different forms or images. As Ramchal explains, quote, "Generally speaking, prophetic vision is not like seeing something directly."
But the chariot.
Prophetic vision is not like, rather it's like seeing it through a lens, ispaklaria, or rather through a series of lenses, whereby the image is refracted from one to the other. In addition, such prophetic vision is not seen as if through a clear, polished lens, but rather a dull lens. The prophet does see God's glory, but just as the glory is shown to him in as a refractive image, so is the information granted to him transmitted by means of allegory and metaphor. So I go on. Notice I interspersed my little comments with the Zohar, so you can see that these things have to be read. They have to be learned. They have to be contemplated, and you get so much from them.
So when Moses asked Hashem to see him, and Hashem said, "I'm going to show you my back," and he said they just became like that, and so they became kind of one. And at that point, usually we have to make a keli to have a little bit of holiness, or call it the way you want it, or see a manifestation of Hashem. But at that point, what did Hashem did? He made a keli to have Moshe. He made himself a keli and had Moshe in his, contained in him, in himself.
You're asking a very important question. As I say, that I write about it. I'm not going to try and answer you. I can't. You have to build a basis for being able to talk about these things. We need to learn more together. Yeah. You know, come to Israel, or if you want, we can start having some web classes. I think the time is coming. There's a thing called Project Sinai. Not Sinai Live, it's Project Sinai. It's one of the most powerful Jewish sites that's up, and the possibility of many people. I gave a class during Elul on Noahide nations, and there were a maximum of 30 computers allowed into the chat room, and it was good. I learned a lot how to do it. I gave 6 classes, 6 weeks, but I'm just about now to go onto a website that's called Project Sinai, and they have an unlimited number of people that can be in a class at the same time. Again, it's all new to me, and I don't know exactly how it's going to be, but
webcam?
Very excited.
Webcam?
I don't know how they do it. I don't know. I'm not a technician.
But video or just audio?
No, it's video. Yeah.
I know. Can I give you more information? I know from when I was in Virginia, there's Rebbe Plotnik. She's on it, and ready for this, she speaks from her kitchen. You know, every time she's on, it's like once a month. She has a little, like a camera just like that, set up through her computer, and it's broadcast. I'm also curious about if you've heard of Torah Anytime.
He's on there.
You're on Torah Anytime.
Like three lectures that we've
Okay.